We're set up here straight into game 3. And we see obviously the flying Phoebus come in from one of the boys at the other tables who were a bit bored. So they decided they wanted to chuck cards around tactics, but that's the flying Phoebus that decided to come in. I think there's also a Houndour over there that must have made its way onto the table. But you saw Alex have to mulligan because of no basics. But he will go first this game. And okay, he starts Sableye Dino with a level ball, probably for another Dino. Yep. And as you can see, Cale started with that Emerging Powers Tornadus that I mentioned in game 1. And also a Dino of his own. But that Dino will now be captured out. And then Alex will end. So this is obviously the deciding game 3. So it'll be very interesting to see the outcome of this. They both have 1 each. It's both pretty much who got the better start. There's no comebacks to be had by lots of Mac potions, catches, anything like that. It was whoever got the best start won their game. Alex got the best start in game 1, and Cale got the best start in game 2, and they just steamrolled from there. Cale's going to random receiver for an N. We'll see if he can catches out a Dino. So it's just going to have a Dino stalemate here. Or is Cale going to attach to that Dino and maybe headbutt? Yeah, so he attaches to blend and then ends. Ends not something you want to really use early game. Yes, you have to. It's kind of, you want to kind of make sure you hang on to a couple late game in case you're behind and be able to end your opponent to 1 or 2 even, and then hopefully stall them while you build yourself back up. There's been a few comebacks that I've seen ending your opponent to 1. It's been 1 prize to 5, and you get end to 1, and then there's just epic comebacks from being 4 prizes down. So we see Alex Ultra Ball chasing a Darkrai maybe, unless he has the rare candy. No, he chases Darkrai. He also got rid of another N, so that's 2 N's gone already. Eviolite on that Darkrai, which is something he was missing in that second game. But he got it nice and early this game, and evolves into Wireless and then Junipers. He didn't Ultra Ball, he Junipered in that and just happened to discard an Ultra Ball. Obviously he drew another Darkrai. And this best of 3 games, if we come down to time, there is an hour time limit for the 3 matches total. If we come down to time, it will be time plus 3 turns, so whenever time is called, that player's turn will be turn 1, and then the other player will get turn 2, and then the person who had turn 1 will get turn 3, and then at the end of that, whoever's ahead on the most prizes, or if it happens to be finished in those 3 turns, then they're the winner. Let's see, a catcher from Cale on the Wireless, which is we see Cale Juniper away a Dark. Maybe another N, and what looks like a full art Mew EX, a full art Mew EX, which is also an interesting inclusion in that deck. Not something you would see a lot of in Darkrai Hydreigon, I think, but an interesting tech nonetheless. And then retreats to the Tornadus. So I think Cale, with capturing that Zweilous, is just trying to buy some time until he can get set up a bit better. So Alex Ultra Ball's a Sableye. And something else for the Hydreigon, and managed to get the Hydreigon out. And he attaches to the active Hydreigon, so he'll be able to retreat that this turn. I would imagine into the Eviolated Darkrai, and then shift the blend on the Dino, the Dark on the Sableye, and the Dark off the Hydreigon up to that Darkrai, and then it'll be a fully powered Darkrai with Eviolite. But he plays another N, so that's his third N. So obviously he doesn't plan on falling behind in this match, but if he does happen to fall behind, he may be wishing he held on to those N's for later in the game. But sometimes you just need to play him. You just need to draw a new hand, and that's exactly what N does in this format. With no Oak's New Theory, N's the best we've got for shuffle and draw. So we see Alex Night Spear the Tornadus and put 30 on the Dino. But Cale Rare Candy straight into Hydreigon. And now that he has that Hydreigon, he'll be able to power up his Darkrai. And before that, he'll play Sharon. And play down another Darkrai X and another Dino. Here so that was, he didn't just retreat that Tornadus with nothing. It does have a 1 retreat cost, but it's basically, just moving. We know he's going to move the Dark Energy there, retreat, and then move it back. So we're quite fine with just skipping the formalities when we know what's going to happen. So, and then he obviously Night Speared for 70 on the active and 30 on the Dino. And then Alex level balled for a Sigilyph. So you see the Sigilyph there in the bottom left corner, just on his bench. So that's what Alex got off his level ball, and then he'd be anchored and Rare Candy into another Hydreigon, so that's going to protect that Dino from getting knocked out from any Night Spear damage next turn. You'll catch the Hydreigon. I maybe would have saved that catcher and hit the Darkrai with Night Spear. Oh, okay. No, see, this is the move I was talking about earlier with Hydreigon knocking out Hydreigon. And this may be a big move in this match, because even if Alex loses that active Hydreigon, he still has that one on the bench who'll still be able to move energy around. Whereas Cale's going to have to Rare Candy into Hydreigon or evolve into Zweilous and then into Hydreigon to get another Hydreigon on the field. So I think this is a good play by Alex, taking the ability to move energy around off Cale. And you see him, what I'm assuming was a max potion on the Tornadus. Don't know where that max potion is because it wasn't in the discard pile, but we see Cale evolving as well, so he's going to have to do it the hard way. No rare candies, there's that max potion. Eventually hit the discard pile, but see a Juniper. And a Dark Energy on the Darkrai. And plays down the Sableye. And we'll Night Spear the Hydreigon. Let's see where he puts his 30. Yeah. Okay, so he puts it on the other Hydreigon. So next, anytime he wants, he'll be able to, assuming Alex doesn't max potion the damage away, he'll be able to capture that other Hydreigon. And Night Spirit for a knockout. We'll see. This is Alex just taking away any chance of Cale being able to get another Hydreigon in play. He catches out the Zweilous. And Alex Dark Patches on the Darkrai. And you'll see the retreat of Hydreigon and promoting the Darkrai. And with Zweilous only having 80 health, I believe, it's an easy Night Spear knockout. And yeah, 30 on the Tornadus. Setting it up for, again, another catcher Night Spear, because it only has the 110 health. You see me checking the phone for the time. It's 1:04, and time will actually be called when it hits 4 o'clock. So I believe time will probably be called in Cale's turn, maybe towards the end of it, depending on how quick he plays. But Dark Patch. Searching. No, there is no Dark Energy in that discard pile. So unfortunately we'll have to settle for the Night Spear. And 30 on the Hydreigon. And I think time was called at the end, right at the end of Cale's turn. I think time was called, so I believe Alex has turn 1 of the 3 turns. So this will be turn 1. Let me catch her on the Tornadus. We're gonna, because we are in these final turns, Alex is going to promote that Eviolated Darkrai, so it's going to take two turns to knock out that Darkrai, so it is definitely safe unless Cale happens to have a catcher. It will not get knocked out in Cale's turn. And it will take the knockout of the Tornadus and drop 30 on the Darkrai with the blends, I would imagine. No, the Darkrai with no energy. Okay. Alright, so this is pretty much going to be Cale's last turn, so let's see if he can manage to at least get at least a knockout. And we're going to see Random Receiver. See if there's any supporters left in that deck. There is nothing. So Cale's pretty much got the cards in his hand, and that's about it. That's all he's going to have to use, is what cards he has in his hand. Let's see. Cale still has 6 prizes, and I think Alex has 2 left over there. Cale did have 1 supporter in his hand. He had a Sharon, so obviously he's chasing something so he could draw a bit more. So he was either after a N or a Juniper. But he did manage to He either got the catch off the Sharon or he always had it. So he catches out the damaged Darkrai. So he'll at least take 2 prizes this match. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty much it for this match. In Ultra Balls, he's just the knockout on the Darkrai and the 30 damage on the Hydreigon. But Alex will just promote the Darkrai, capture the Sableye, and that's game. So that's how the match ended, and